What is going on, everybody? How you doing? Nice to see you. Hey, okay, we've got to talk. There is a lot of garbage going on with the 2018 video game scene. I don't know what the hell is going on nowadays, but you have 6 different video games that have been distributed, published, etc. that are just they're products of companies and been produced that are terrible, unplayable, unfinished, and you have things such as they are underdeveloped, forced microtransactions, false advertisements, and these companies are doxing or publishing the private information of their users and players, and there's just so much going on. There's a trend of just shitty games coming out, and it needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed soon, because if this trend continues, companies are going to believe and think that this is okay, or that this is something that's acceptable, and it is certainly not going to be acceptable. We can't accept this. We cannot continue to allow this to happen. Just check this out, okay? Fallout. Fallout is one of the biggest video game franchises out there, probably next to, Grand Theft Auto. There have been so many video games now coming out, to include Fallout, that have just been terrible products. Now, just the fact of that game itself, okay, just Fallout itself, it's been completely unplayable. It was published and distributed, whatever, unfinished and underdeveloped, okay? For the next probably 5 weeks now, we have DLCs, not even DLCs, but just updates that are coming out for Fallout, okay? Which means they are taking the game offline to make updates. Why, after paying $60 for a game, do you have to update the game not only the first week it's released, but every week for the next 6 to 8 weeks for the game to be playable, for the game to be even enjoyable? Okay? Then you had their catastrophe with the nylon bags, the servers shutting down, everything. And it's a joke. It is a joke, and it is just a stupid joke. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Their canvas bags, they had a collector's edition. The collector's edition was supposed to include all these little trinkets and glow-in-the-dark maps and T-shirts, and was supposed to be a canvas West Tech Vault-Tec bag. Okay, so you can carry around that. Plus, over in the picture over there, you have the Fallout 76 helmet from the Power Armor. The bag that was distributed was not this canvas bag that they had promised, but in fact it was a nylon bag that looked like one that you could purchase at, I don't know, like a grocery store that said West Tech on it, and people were pissed. Okay? They're actually in the middle of a class action lawsuit right now because of false advertisement. People want their money back. Bethesda wasn't giving them their money back. And, I mean, I've had my fair share of issues with Fallout. If you watch my YouTube channel at all, you will see that there's a 4-minute video where I'm cursing at Fallout. What the hell's going on? Well, motherfucker. Yep, stream's over. Fuck Bethesda. Fuck Fallout. I'm done. I'm done. I cannot stand Fallout another fucking day. Now let's move on to some Battlefield 5. The problem with Battlefield 5 is that when you're watching the game trailer, you can't even place, when trying to visualize and get a setting for the game itself, where the game is supposed to take place. Is it World War I, World War II, or Civil War? And the game is actually placed in World War II. That's the setting of the game. And the problem is that they have women in the battlefield. And that is not historically correct. Not that every player is a history buff. I'm certainly not. But when you're trying to have a setting for a game, and you're trying to have an accurate portrayal of what the game is supposed to be, where it's supposed to be, the weapons, the time period, the character placements, the location that it's at, and then you have women in the battlefield, it's not historically correct, and it creates an issue for the players, because you're like, well, wait a second, if this is supposed to be happening, this is supposed to be happening, why is that now happening? That's not historically correct. And it just creates an issue. Well, they go on to say that DICE, the creator of the game, down there at the bottom where it says DICE, they go on to say that this is everybody's Battlefield. Well, great, but if your franchise is built on creating a historical point and playing a historical point, you can't just put extra points in there just so that you can say, oh, well, we include women in our video games. We get that, okay? We accept the fact that women can be in war, and we accept the fact that women were a part of the war, just in different time periods and different locations, just not in the battlefield itself. So the fact that you're adding women to the battlefield, it's not historically appropriate. And then they just go on to tell players, well, if you don't like it, don't play. Now on to some Just Cause 4. Just Cause 4 is just making players sick. And this is because they actually have a motion blur effect that is literally giving people motion sickness. Now, motion blur is generally used for like racing games and things like that kind of blurs the scope of everything outside of the focus point. Okay. Now, generally this effect can be turned off. Okay. And they are not allowing people to turn the effect off in Just 4. It is literally for no reason being put into this game when it's a lot of exploring and looking around and walking around and shooting at things. There's a little bit of driving, but having this setting in this game is making people sick and throw up and wanting to destroy and get rid of their games. And I don't understand why you cannot turn the effect off. That's one thing that continues to confuse me the whole time. I don't understand why they even have this functionality in the game. Again, it is, even though the image over here looks like something flying, some kind of tornado and effect going on there, but there's a lot of exploring going on in the game, yes, and some driving, but you don't need to have that effect in place. You don't need to even have that effect there for the game to be great. And the fact that you cannot turn this off, people cannot play your game. What the hell is going on with game studios and producers and companies now that are just causing and creating all this chaos? And they don't give a damn about the players anymore. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. And I wish they would give a better explanation, or at least make the functionality able to be turned off in order for players and people to enjoy their game. And lastly, we have to talk about Capcom. Now, Capcom is an older franchise, and I mean, they make a whole lot of fighting games and all the fighting games from the past that we're so used to. But the problem that we're having now is that they are running what they are calling sponsored content in the loading screen. And this is a problem because, again, once you're paying full price for a game, which, of course, similar to Fallout 76 and all the other games on this list, they came out at full price. People are paying full price for these games. And then the games are being lowered in price for holidays and things like that, and additional sales. So you're going from a $60 game being brought down half price for holidays, so $30. I think even on Steam, some of these Capcom games for, what the hell is it, Street Fighter V, I believe it is going for like $10 on Steam. Which, now, if you are not paying for the game, okay, and they're running sponsored content in the loading screen, then I think if it was a free game, people wouldn't care. However, because of the fact that they are running these sponsored advertisements and sponsored content in the game, while you've already paid for the game and you're playing the game, it creates a conflict of interest to say, hey, wait a second, I paid full price for this game. I should not have to sit through these ads, and I should not have to watch these ads. This is not, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Now, this is a feature that you can turn off, unlike oh goodness, what the hell was it? Just 4, where you couldn't turn off that feature. Excuse me. Now, you can turn off this feature, okay? However, if you do turn off the feature, you're going to be punished, and by punished, that means that you are not going to get additional boost and bonuses in the game. And so you're punishing people for something that they shouldn't even have to deal with. They should not have to deal with you going through and adding these sponsored advertisements and sponsored content and things like that. Why? Why would you even add that to a game to begin with? Okay? And the problem is, we as gamers have to stop allowing these things to happen. Okay? We have to hold these gaming publishers and developers accountable for what they are putting us through. Because what's going to end up happening is they're going to run a script or a chart of some kind at the end of the day and say, hey, look, we ran all these ads on these games, okay? And some people are going to be idiots and click through anyway. So what's going to happen is they're going to say, oh, well, we ran the ads in these games. We got the click-throughs. They're working together. So let's continue doing this. No, we cannot allow this to happen, okay? Because they're going to try to compare this and say, oh, no, this is the new norm, and we're going to have to face this every single day. And I think that is garbage. Ladies and gentlemen, I kind of think that there's just a whole lot of crap going on. And it really just needs to change. It really needs to be addressed. Again, between Fallout 76, Red Dead Redemption 2, Battlefield 5, Just Cause 4, and Capcom and everything else, 2018 has been terrible for video games. And it really needs to be addressed because these things should not be held as the norm. We cannot allow this to continue to happen and continue to be stepped on by game developers and publishers and things like that to say, oh, no, well, they allowed it on the last game that we developed. Oh, no, gamers sat through it and just kind of took it on the chin, so they'll just take whatever we throw at them. No, that cannot be what we expect as video gamers and people who enjoy video games and people who play either casually or professionally. We cannot allow this to happen. We cannot allow the developers to have us be in-game and the game not function correctly, or the game not be accurate, or the game making people sick and forcing us to pay additional money to have a better version of the game. It's unacceptable. And, to me, it's just really bothersome. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I really hope that you enjoyed this. This was not live. This kind of went out. It was produced. The video was put together. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for checking me out and watching. And of course, look, I punched a microphone. I'll leave that in. Look right down there. There's all my social media, okay? So make sure you guys check me out. I can't even get this right. There you go. So check out all my social media and check out all the pages that I'm on. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me, folks. And we'll end now.
Just last Wednesday, by Friday she was mine. Saturday she spent the night, everything was fine. By Sunday she was on my nerves, I wanna be alone. Tuesday she it's been a week, why won't she go home? In the bedroom she's faking, all the good ones are taken. Do I have rings stamped across my forehead? I just wanna know girlfriend, but here we go again.